Sisters and brothers, a very hearty welcome to each one of you to the 25th Sunday of the liturgical year. Today we are invited to reflect deeply on the aspect of the justice of God. All of us have some reminiscences regarding some experiences that we made in life which can become a turning point of our life. I too made one such experience. In the early 90s, as I was a theology student, I used to go to Sanatorium, the SMMI campus, for animating a very vibrant youth group in Bangalore, namely Saint Teresa's Association of Youth. We had almost 35 to 40 young and vibrant boys and girls who had been well involved in charitable deeds and altruistic programs in order to develop the society. Fortunately for me, I was their animator. 4 years later, as I was about to be ordained as a priest, the youth group gave me a send-off. And it was very interesting. On a fine Sunday after the liturgical celebration of the Mass, we all gathered together. Having done the normal chorus of a send-off, they gave me a very interesting gift. They told me to open this gift only in my room. I was extremely curious to know what the gift would be. Nowadays we know it should be minimum an iPhone. So I was hoping that something great is going to happen. As soon as the meeting was over, I went back to my seminary and got into my room, shut the door, and I opened the gift. To my great surprise, it was an album. Thinking that there would be many photos of mine there inside, I opened the album and I found not even a single photo of mine was there in this album. Instead, the photos of the youth group members were pasted there. But the most interesting thing is this. After they pasted their photo on this album, each one of them, under their own photos, wrote a very touching message for me. I was keenly going through each page of the album, looking at the photo of the member of a group and reading the message that he or she has written for me. As I went through it, I was touched by the message of a girl who wrote something very specific for my life. She wrote like this: "Brother, your life is an open book, and people read the content of this book through your lifestyle, your behavior, and your character." Sisters and brothers, this has become perhaps the maxim of my life thereafter. Your life is an open book, and people read the content of it through your lifestyle, your behavior, and your character. When I went through the readings of today, this is the same message that I get. In the second reading today from the letter to the Philippians, St. Paul mentions about a similar experience that he made in his own personal life. He says, "Let the manner of your life be worthy of the gospel of Christ. Let the manner of your life be worthy of the gospel of Christ." He continues saying, "For me to live is to die, and to die is a gain. I am hard pressed between two factors. One is the desire to die and join Christ, and the other is to continue in this bodily life on account of you. But let the manner of my life be worthy of the gospel of Christ." Yes, sisters and brothers, this desire of Paul would lead us to the gospel of the day. What is that to be worthy of Christ? What is it that I need to imitate in my life today to become worthy of the gospel of Jesus Christ? And I believe one of the most recurrent themes that is being revealed by the Bible is the concept of justice and righteousness. Today, we have a beautiful passage from the Gospel of Matthew narrating to us the justice of God, which is given to everyone, irrespective of their status in life. We hear about the master of a house who goes out to call laborers into his vineyard. As he went out, he saw a few of them, told them, "Come into my vineyard and work. I will pay you the right payment." They came and they began the work. After a while, in the third hour, he went out and he saw few others waiting there. And he asked them, "Do you like to come and work in my vineyard?" And they too joined him. In the 6th hour and in the 11th hour, he went out and saw a few more people, brought all of them to work in his vineyard, guaranteeing them that he would pay them the right and just payment. At the end of the day, when they had finished the work, he gathers all these laborers and began to pay their due. And this is where the twist of the whole parable changes. He begins the payment with the last ones who came. And he paid them 1 denarii. Naturally, those who came before them expected a higher payment, but each of them was paid the same 1 denarii. Now the laborers were very angry, especially those who came first. They told, "It is injustice. How could you do that?" I was just evaluating what most probably was the thought that was going through the mind of these laborers. This is nothing but that the others are paid equal to them. They were not worried that they were paid just 1 denarii, but they were worried that others were equally paid the wage that they got. This is the problem that most of us have. Now the master asks, "Did I do any injustice to you?" We find here, my brothers and sisters, 2 kinds of justice. One is what we call as the commutative justice, which is normally practiced in the civil world, or we call it as the civil justice. What does it mean? If I have a piece of land and my neighbor encroaches this land, I go and put a case against him and say, "He has encroached my land, I need justice." And the judge, viewing the fact, makes a decision, give to him what he deserves. And this is exactly what we call as the commutative justice. But you know, there is another justice which is biblical. What is that? It is known as mishpat, which means give to him or her what he or she does not deserve. The mercy of God, merged with his compassion, produces the greatest justice in the Bible. Everyone receives his or her due. My sisters and brothers, Matthew the evangelist wrote his gospel for the early Christian community. And that was the time a lot of conversions from Jews as well as Gentiles taking place, as from proselytes and the Gentiles. Proselytes mean Jews who are joining Christianity, and the Gentiles who belong to other religions joining Christianity. And naturally, they were not considered equal to the Jews. Jews considered them to be low-class people. They said the Mosaic law is the fundamental aspect of our life. But Jesus now goes a step further and says, the mercy of God is beyond any human-made law. That's why we hear from the book of prophet Isaiah, Seek the Lord and hold on to Him while He is found. This is the vocation that each one of us have. We need to seek the Lord and hold on to Him while He is found. We find God today in our day-to-day life situation through the sacraments of the church and through the apostolic activities of the church. Yes, sisters and brothers, justice is God's mercy and compassion merged together, irrespective of the class, caste, creed, even religion. Let's be aware, God's mercy needs to be derived through our compassionate lifestyle. And let's remember those words of St. Paul. Let the manner of your life be worthy of the gospel of Christ. And I remember once again the words of that girl who wrote in my album, brother, your life is an open book, and the people read the content of this book through your lifestyle, your behavior, and your character. Amen.